So in 10 years from now, everybody will be using crypto to pay for their goods. When people hear the word crypto, right now in 2026, they picture something niche. They think of it as something speculative, often risky, and especially optional. At the moment, your money technically belongs to you, but access to it is controlled. You will be using digital money in the future, regardless of whether you like it or not. Welcome to Rich and Regulated, where women learn to build wealth in alignment and flow. I'm Jessica Soul. For over a decade, I've helped women create the lives of their dreams, and here I'll share how I build wealth, fast-track results, and reveal money truths that will blow your mind. Let's get wealthy. All right, ladies, I want to say something today that might sound bold, but it's actually very grounded and it's 100% accurate. So in 10 years from now, everybody will be using crypto to pay for their goods. And this is not because suddenly you became into crypto. It's not because you joined a movement, and it won't be because you changed your personality or changed politics. It's none of that, right? It will be because the systems underneath your everyday life are going to quietly shift without you even knowing. And the truth is, most people won't notice it the moment it happens, because this is how real change works, and it doesn't arrive loudly. It actually arrives conveniently, and it often arrives wrapped in a better user experience. It arrives while nobody is watching, and I want you to pause right now, because when people hear the word crypto, right now in 2026, they picture something niche. They think of it as something speculative, often risky, and especially optional. But the thing is that crypto isn't really a product. It is actually the new way that money moves. And every single time humanity has changed the way money or information moves, the same pattern has repeated itself. At first, what happens is people doubt it, right? Then they laugh at it. Then the masses say it's unnecessary. They say it's dangerous. They say it's a phase. And then slowly but surely, it becomes our normal. So normal that 10 years later, no one remembers how much they were actually resisting it. And this has happened before, right? Think about it when we used to go to the bank and pay with things with a physical bank check. Then came internet banking, then contactless payments, and now this, right? So let's have a look at this and ground this historically so that you guys can have a little bit of an understanding around it. So we used to write checks, and years and years ago that felt super normal, and I am old enough to remember owning a checkbook. Then internet banking arrived and people didn't trust it. They said it wasn't safe. They said that their money could easily disappear. And people actually said that internet banking wouldn't last. And imagine someone saying today and insisting on writing a check because online banking feels risky. It actually sounds ridiculous. And then we had contactless payments come in, then Apple Pay, then tap and go became like muscle memory. And now you don't even think about it, right? So this next shift is going to be the same. Money moving faster, money moving without middlemen, money moving without closing hours, and not because it's rebellious, guys, but because at the end of the day, working in Web3 is efficient. So let's talk about how money works right now in the current system, because at the moment, your money technically belongs to you, but access to it is controlled, right? So right now, you cannot always withdraw large amounts of money instantly. I have experienced that multiple times in the last 6 to 12 months. You cannot move money freely across borders. You cannot transact at any time without delays, and you cannot avoid arbitrary limits. And you'll hear things like subject to availability, daily limit supply. You'll need approval for that, right? And the unfortunate thing is that we have actually normalized asking permission for our own money, which is super, super sad. And most people don't even question it because they've never known anything else. But here is where the shift comes in. Because with blockchain-based systems, money becomes self-directed, person to person. You're going to have settlement in minutes, not days. There are no closing hours. There are actually no branch policies. That doesn't mean chaos. It actually gives you full autonomy. And at the beginning, autonomy is always going to feel unsettling before it starts to feel normal. But at the end of the day, what blockchain, Web3, and crypto will give the people is private rails, digital banking, and what this actually unlocks is really, really exciting. So let's go a little bit deeper here because this is where the real power is, and I want you to take note. Crypto isn't just about investing, it is about the rails and about how money moves. So when you can receive money digitally without gatekeepers, pay globally without any friction, store value outside of traditional systems, travel without being dependent on one country's banking rules, you are not just transacting anymore. What you're doing is you are reducing the fragility in your life. Just quickly, guys, if you're a woman who's earning well but still feels like your money isn't working for you, I can help. My Build Your Wealth portal is the perfect place to begin, and for less than $100 a month, I'll teach you the exact groundwork that has allowed me to create freedom for my family. Just hit the link in the show notes to connect into my community today. Now back to the episode. So here's something most people don't want to talk about, but I really need you to understand this. You will be using digital money in the future, regardless of whether you like it or not. And what I'm referring to is the CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies are coming. They are already being tested. They are already being built. And the question is not whether money is going to become fully digital. The question is actually who is going to be controlling it. And now we have two paths here. So one path is digital money with surveillance, programmable restrictions, conditional access. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound great to me. The second path is open networks, self-custody, and choice. And I am telling you that if you do not learn how decentralized systems work before the shift to CBDCs is complete, you will still end up inside of digital money. But the kicker is you won't understand it. You won't have agency. You will not have alternatives. And what you'll do is you'll just call it banking. And this is why early adoption matters. Early adoption without fear, without hype, and without urgency. Now, early adoption doesn't necessarily mean going all in. And I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions for many people. It doesn't mean risking everything. It doesn't mean becoming extreme. What it actually means is learning now before you are forced to learn. Because here is the quiet truth. If you don't engage now, you don't avoid the system. You're just going to arrive in the same system later on without understanding it. And there is a massive difference between choosing a system and being absorbed by one. One is sovereignty and the other one is compliance with better branding from the banks. And ladies, money and the myth of being late, this is where women, especially women, need clarity. Right? You don't need to be wealthy to start this journey. You don't need to buy whole units of assets like Bitcoin. You can start small. You can be consistent. You can do this in a calm way. And you have to understand that compounding money doesn't reward intensity. It actually rewards time. The problem is that a lot of women think that they're late and you are not, right? You're early to conscious adoption, and that is what really, really matters. So if you choose to engage at all or you choose not to engage, the world is still going to change with or without you. The rails and how payment moves is still going to evolve, and the systems are still going to shift. So one day you'll be using digital assets, you'll be selling and buying faster, you will be living inside of a tokenized system without ever having to choose those systems for yourself. And I want you to understand, ladies, the women who learn early will move differently. Those women will be calmer. They will be more confident. They will be less reactive. And not because they're smarter, but just purely because they didn't wait for permission to understand money. So if something in this episode is landing for you in your body, in your heart, in your mind, this is awareness. This is not fear. And trust me, this is not to create urgency. Awareness is key. And this is the right place to begin, and why I created my free Crypto for Women community. This exists because it is a calm, grounded, and educational place, and it's women only. So there is no hype, there is no yelling, there is definitely no bro culture inside of my free community. It is just a place to help you elevate your understanding. And if you already know that you want a deeper proximity, more structure, more long-term guidance, you can always come in and join me inside of my 12-month mentorship. Now, this is not about becoming someone else, ladies. This is about staying orientated as the world changes around you. Because 10 years from now, this is not going to feel controversial like it does today. It is going to feel normal, just like internet banking feels normal today. Just like contactless payments feel normal, just like Apple Pay feels normal. These were all things we once doubted and now do not think twice about. So the question is whether you meet this awake or whether you're carried into it while you sleep. And I believe that as women, we deserve to have the choice to learn this early on. Ladies, if this feels confusing to you, I have a free community called Crypto for Women, which is literally going to spell out everything you need to know when you are beginning your journey into blockchain, Web3, and crypto. Literally, it's like crypto for dummies. So come along. There is no judgment, no ego inside of there. And I'm going to teach you how to work with your feminine energy and build wealth in a way that feels natural and super, super easy. If you've gotten value from today's episode, make sure you subscribe and leave a 5-star review. And if you're ready for more support in building regulated wealth strategies, check out the link in the show notes. Have a beautiful day.